10 years bouncing up and down the East Coast and threading my way through Long Island Sound aboard the Kobayashi Maru, a 1997 50-foot Sea Ray equipped with twin Caterpillar diesels, I sold the old tank and bought a sailboat. Never sailed before. Didn't care. I was impelled to do this. You could say it was a calling. More on that later. After a full season of sailing and getting good enough to single-hand her, it's clear that I made the right choice. And then this happens. I'm faced with a major repair job. It's been discovered my rudder has been penetrated with water, and the fiberglass has become delaminated, and it needs to be repaired. It's 7.5 feet long and weighs about 80 pounds. It's a serious job. But wait, it gets better. Not only does the rudder need to be repaired, I'm told by a professional in the industry that due to a design flaw, it's recommended I scrap the old rudder altogether and have it completely rebuilt from a factory down in Florida. The first estimate is $10,000. $10,000! I'm stunned. It's a major blow to the budget and a horrible place to be. I've already built the generator over again, replaced the inverter charger, installed a second set of brand new batteries, and blew a big chunk of change on fixing gashes in the hull. I refuse to accept this. I begin dialing for other estimates. Second estimate, $7,000 out of Canada. Third estimate, $8,000 out of Florida. And then I get a tip from an old friend. Try this guy in Groton. I call him. He agrees to have a look, and we're off. Fourth estimate, $5,500, right there in Connecticut. But he's not exactly sure. I ask him for a written quote. While I'm waiting for the quote, I do what most folks do these days. I Google up a YouTube video on how to fix your own rudder. And sure as sugar, I'm then thrust into a 5-part video series on how to fix your own rudder. It's ridiculously simple. I finally get the quote, and I look at what the guy's charging me and realize not only is he gouging the crap out of me for $2,500, but I can do this myself. What happens next is something I don't ever remember experiencing before. I actually realize that I'm under attack. It feels as though people are trying to steal from me. I become angry, and I drive all the way back to Groton and explain I've changed my mind and grab the rudder. The guy is pissed. He spouts out that he's going to charge me $300 for the quote. What an ass, I think. I drove it out to him. I drove all the way back and picked it up. And he's going to charge me $300. What a pompous ass. Why does the sea keep calling me? But even more curious, why does it compel me to keep pushing so far beyond my proverbial box?
Captain Mullen, we can do this! We can do it.
Okay, listen.
We looked in here. We tried our best to justify not having to do this, but they already did it. There's moisture in there. We got to get rid of it. The only way to do this is to remove half, take all this crap out. It's old foam. It's moisture. It smells worse than cigarettes. You're gonna take this stuff out, re-pour it, put some new glass on it, but you gotta go all the way around. Trust me, I didn't want to do this. Captain Mullen said, maybe we don't have to do it. Listen, I don't want to do it either. The bottom line is,
it's getting done.
These people wanted to charge me $10,000! $10,000! I'm gonna do this. Ready? I've never done anything like this in my 59 years on the planet. And believe me when I tell you, it's frightening. All those voices of doubt start playing. What if I do it wrong? What if I break it? What if I put forth all this effort and expense and still end up having to buy a new rudder? Or better yet, how about this one? What if my rudder falls apart halfway across the Atlantic, headed to Florida? All those voices are relentless, and I know where they come from. And that's the first step of moving beyond it all. So this is tricky. Right here, point there. This is the shaft. It's gonna come right there. I don't know how. I gotta be careful here because I don't know how deep it is. I gotta just stay above, just get that 1/4 inch of fiberglass. Once I get here, I think we'll be home free. And then this, it's obvious. Look at that. It's already. I don't know why the other side is so. Okay, ready? Say a prayer. Say a prayer, people. Look it up. The powerful seed of self-doubt was planted in many of us at an early age. It's so powerful. In fact, psychiatrists and modern psychologists have determined that we do the same thing to those around us. It's like a knee-jerk reaction to anything I see someone trying to do that's outside of my experience. I often see the dynamic play out in real time with my own offspring. And it's as equally painful. I see those around me trying to push it on me. I'd be careful with that. Hey, that's nothing to mess around with. I guess that's what attracts me to Mr. Captain Brian Mullen. He's on a mission to always find a way to get it done. And thanks to him, I cut through this fiberglass skin with his fine tool like a hot knife through butter. Fix a hole. Woo! Shaft looks like it'll be intact once it gets dried out. Captain Mullen.
We got it done.
Woo. See the coloration of it? It's all wet. It's hard, but it's wet. That's not good. And this'll do. Just gotta re-pour it. All right. The memories go all the way back to 1983. And since today it's 2023, they're unrelated to this project, but I'm gonna bring you into the next piece of the puzzle, which is, now that we've got this off, we've got to go to the extra step to remove this rotten foam core, which, by the way, the thought has occurred to me that it is entirely possible that whatever was inside this rudder for the past, well, let's take it 1999 to 2023, was it harboring some sort of a horrible virus? Could have been COVID number 2 that I now have, because I tested negative this morning for COVID COVID-19. Maybe it was COVID too. But either way, I can no longer sit idle. So here's what we're gonna do. I'll get back to the memories that just came back to me. But in the meantime, this stuff here worries me because this is a different consistency. I don't know what this is. It's a lot harder. This is hard, but it's, it got saturated. It's wet, so it's got to come out. After spending the entire previous day incapacitated, dead in bed, I'm obsessed with this project and can't wait anymore. I'm compelled into action. The rudder of a sailing vessel is a mysterious and deceptively unique device. On one hand, it's out of sight and virtually out of mind. Submerged the entire season, only becoming visible once you have the boat hauled at the end of the year, put up on land. And unless it's tapped with a special hammer, and the sound of those taps is analyzed by an experienced ear, you won't know of troubles waiting around the bend. I'm sick and you're chilly, so I'll be quick about it. I'm worried that you're not taking enough care of yourself, and you're so intent on taking care of everyone else that you're not taking care of yourself. I'm sick, as you can see by my bloody sputum down here, but I've still have the wherewithal to realize how much I care and love for you. I want you to carve out 3 to 4 hours of just for yourself today, if you can, and just forget about everyone else in this house. You are working so hard and you're doing so much.
Sweetheart, that is the role of women. We can do it all. At a cost, but you know. All right, I will be back.
Now, I don't want the dog to get a hold of this, but this is what's inside my sinus cavity right now. And trust me, I realize, and just to give you some scale, there's my finger, so it's certainly big enough. But I got that out of my, I finally got that out of my my sinus cavity. And it's almost like I just gave a miniature birth. Got that thing out of there. I've been sick. I've never really remember laying in bed for 24 hours. It was actually longer than that. Friday night around 10 p.m. all the way till Sunday at about 7, 8 a.m. So you do the math. I haven't been that sick in so long. But duty calls. Check it out. We made our way down through the other side. It's pretty clean. You can see it's clean down here. It's nice and hard. It should be good. I'm like an obsessed animal. I can't even stop myself.
what you're about to step into. I mean, I hate to be cliche, but it's really fear. Like, I had no idea it was underneath the fiberglass skin. You won't know until you try. You gotta just do it. As everybody knows, there are two sides to every story. So you're on the algorithm.
Oh boy.
My son has just notified me it's February 15th, just a little bit after Christmas, that now we got ourselves a brand new guitar on top of the brand new guitar for Christmas. And so, listen, I realize I'm stuck in a box. We're all stuck in a box, okay? My box is, look, somebody bought you a beautiful, expensive electric guitar. Learn how to play that sucker. Learn how to play that sucker. Now, don't be going buying another guitar. You don't even have a job, right?
From home.
Okay, but you didn't save the money for it. It doesn't matter who you're working for. So like, you don't have the money. Like, you basically, it's an interest-free loan. It's not right. It's not right. So I went a little, I didn't go berserk. How would you define how I hold?
Not mad, just disappointed.
Not mad, but I pitched a fit.
I do understand that. Yeah. This is nuts. This is nuts.
You realize you kind of deserved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So what's the takeaway here? Is like, I don't think you learned anything.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to be making any big purchases like this anytime soon.
What do you mean soon? Like, when is that soon? When is soon over?
Years.
Okay, you heard that. Okay, years. So my belief is that me, everybody, you don't learn anything when you act impulsively and make a purchase. You're not going to learn anything. And what is even more obvious is that when somebody says, look, I'm not going to do it for a long, long time. Like, that doesn't work either. You have to stop. You have to get control of your emotions. You gotta get control of your emotions. And then you make a logical decision later. Buy it later. But you go to the salespeople and you just buy it. And so, anyways, you're on the algorithm. The algorithm of this situation is, I don't know how it's going to be helpful. Stick with us. Just play it. Now that 97% of all the old urethane foam is gone, I feel a tremendous sense of relief. My only conundrum now is what to do about the previous repair at the bottom of the rear portion of the rudder. Ask 3 different people what to do about it and get 3 different answers. But my intuition says, leave that sleeping dog where it lie. It's not porous, and although heavier than the material I'd used to replace it, it's just a small amount of area and a small amount of added weight. After everything I've gone through so far, it's become obvious that I need to store the rudder in my own co-op apartment for safekeeping and begin to focus on the next big issue: locating the right kind of expandable urethane foam to replace the old stuff I just removed. I can't find it anywhere, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. Time's a-ticking. Spring is right around the corner, and I don't have time for this. And then everything comes to a screeching halt. It's winter break. Life as we know it takes a 2-day pause. Deb and I head to New York City. It's like another calling. You just can't shake it. Except this time, it's an exhibit about a family's epic story of survival at sea after they've been rammed by a pod of orcas who eventually sank the boat out off the Pacific. It's like a message. Somebody's trying to tell me something. As everybody knows, there are two sides to every story. You can't draw conclusions after hearing only one side. Sometimes there's three. Since I was a young boy, I've always been petrified of being stranded out at sea. Is this some sort of a message? Is my decision to try to take this rudder in my own hands a sign? As I contemplate the enormity of this rudder repair, I finally get the courage up to replace a broken heating unit that sits over by the settee. Seems extremely simple. All the wires are colored. Everything seems to be quite obvious. Except it's not. And once again, I'm up against it. So it's just a matter of backing your way out of what was here, and this is what was here, and this is what the new one looks like. So you're constantly just double checking. We got this guy tied in properly here. That's the power line coming in. Black on black. Oh shoot, that thing came apart already? Yikes. Okay, so last but not least, we got to go green on green. Make sure everything's properly connected, which is questionable. This is bigger than going to Africa. Okay, this is bigger than diving with sharks. I'm scared shitless of this electricity. As you can see, we've already had a major catastrophe. The brand new batteries were trashed. Brand new batteries. Set number 2. It's almost like a mental illness, but eventually you get to figure it out. You get the courage to do it. But heat is important. I want heat in this little fuselage area, and that's why we did this. Okay, don't be nervous. You got green, which goes to the grounding green. Just trying to be careful here. Green goes to grounding green. There it is. There it is. You can get that out. Fish that under. This is sailing, okay? If you don't understand sailing, stick with us. You'll understand by the time we hit the water. This is sailing. If you could have heard the cries of disapproval from my Facebook family after posting an innocent question about wiring up this new heater, you would have counted me a dead man once we flipped the switch. But hey, y'all, that just about does it for this episode of Scott Tucker's Algorithm. Check back next week and watch me take the fiberglass guy to small claims court for trying to screw me out of my deposit. And even better than that, just wait until you see the final solution on what kind of goop we used to fill the rudder. Thanks again for joining me. Take good care.